5th North American edition of the Sustainable Food Summit. For those of you who have traveled here, welcome to San Francisco. I've come from London and it made a nice break coming to sunny San Francisco.
I think the summit's great. It looks at that broad idea of sustainability and it really tries to define in a number of different ways from different perspectives what exactly that sustainability means and how do we pursue it without losing the integrity of the system that we're trying to put forward.
The summit provides a forum or a platform to learn about latest issues in sustainability in the food industry. So they come here to get clued up, to understand what's going on in the industry, what's hot, what they should be looking at.
Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs.
We're using a lot more herbicides, we're building resistance, we're using a lot more. This is not the reason you're here today. This is the opposite of sustainability. This is a chemical inflation that, again, we're not talking about.
What I'm bringing to you today is an experience focused in meeting the sustainability challenge.
I'd like to talk to you guys about a few challenges that we face as retailers. I'm sure there's some overlap with other retailers that may be in the audience, but some of it is unique to Raley's. And I think one of the biggest challenges that we face every day really is the challenge of supply chain complexity.
One of the reasons we wanted to come here was to learn more about GMOs, because as a company we're debating where we should stand on the non-GMO issue, if we should have a private label that is non-GMO certified. So to hear all of these different manufacturers' perspectives has been really helpful.
When labeling of GMO foods is voluntary, it makes it nearly impossible for consumers to avoid them, particularly in packaged or processed foods, should they wish to.
Big trends are GMO labeling and transparency and the challenges behind consumers understanding of what that really means, and label claims and eco-labels kind of clouding up consumers' ability to navigate the marketplace and make informed decisions. So it's interesting.
The day was full of impressive talks. You have, and it's such a diverse audience. You have certifiers and leading thinkers that know the supply chain, the problems in the supply chain, risks of contamination. Then you have brand holders who are concerned about where am I getting my ingredients, how do I protect my brand from environmentalists who are accusing me of using products that destroy the rainforest, for example, in the case of palm oil. Or they're looking for better sugars. You have supermarket chains. You have such a diverse audience.
I'm the founder of HarvestMark. We're the pioneer in whole chain farm to fork traceability. Put it into numbers, that means we make about 1 billion items of food traceable every year.
Today I talked about how over the last 10 years we've figured out how to build technology that can connect the product all the way through to the consumer, and then specifically how that benefits the grower, the retailer, and the consumer differently. And the key insight, I think, is understanding that those benefits may not always be the same. So getting that balance right between what everybody benefits from, that's the key to making this work.
I'm used to going to conferences and learning about products and learning about different retail strategies, but didn't have a whole lot in the space of sustainability. But it's almost like a little mini United Nations here. There's people from all over the world sharing all different perspectives, talking about how our food system's really, it is a global food system. I mean, we're getting raw materials from all over the world, so it's been really neat.
Anytime I can connect with people who are doing this work, whether it's as a retailer or as a manufacturer or similar, is very valuable to me to create that network. And I've made more valuable connections in this day and a half than I have at any other sustainability conference so far, so that's great.
Every year I've attended, I've come back with some new ideas, some new new people to check out. It's great networking too, professionally, just a great way to meet some new ideas and new key thinkers and pursue those.
It's a great networking opportunity, and it's a great educational event. So to come to learn about not only what you were confronted with in your industry, but what others are confronted with, and how potentially we can learn from them. I think what makes it unique from my perspective is that it deals with food in general and many wide issues versus just what we're confronted with in our industry. And of course, I think there's a lot of crossover and a lot of learning that we can experience looking at other industries as well.
My sense is that food origin, sustainability, conventionally or organically grown or non-GMO are becoming more and more mainstream. And so this conversation we're having here over the next few years is really going to become part of the main dialogue around food. And I'm excited to see that transition.
I think it's been a very interesting summit. Talking about traceability was something very new for this summit. I think one thing's coming out very clear is that it's not just about GM ingredients, it's about having more transparency in supply chains. Consumers want to know where food is produced, where it's come from,